What they call schmut. What we could be getting that's new. So you guys want a little bit of a lesson for the day? If you watch on Instagram, you've already seen this. But, so you see this white stuff on here? That is what they call schmut. And they actually eat that in China or somewhere overseas or something like that. They claim it as a delicacy. And if you notice, this is where the tassel's supposed to be, but that looks like a corn cob. And that reason is because that is a genetic issue in the corn. Now thankfully we don't have a whole entire field that looks like that, but that is how corn used to be. Now used to, this was not your tassel, this was your cob. That was where your cob came from, but genetics have moved it down here to make it get more pollen and make it a better crop. Just a thought process. But that's what I learned the other day. I went and drove around with one of our reps and looked at some fields, and I asked him about it because you see it every now and then. It's not something you see a whole lot, but it is something you see every now and then, especially in areas like this where it's like right along an irrigation road. You see it a lot. And then as you can tell on that same plant, there's still a cob down there. But yeah, pretty neat little fact. And then you can see that this one was actually putting a silk on the top. That's really cool. So that one is too. But once you get out there into the field, it doesn't do that anymore. It's just right here along the edge it does that. So we're gonna go underneath this irrigation because I don't want to run through the corn. I've done it before, and I will do it again. Tight fit. We made it. This irrigation goes over the top of the levee. That's why it's so tall. It's beefed up and it's really tall there, just so that that way it can go all the way out there by the levee and get the corn all the way out there at the levee. This is all lower bottom ground. This is all planted like June 4th of June, I think, or June 8th or something like that. Yeah, somewhere in that time frame. We don't plant this until later because we never know if it's gonna flood. Sometimes it'll flood in an early flood, sometimes it'll flood in a later flood. But this is gonna be the first time in a while that we've had corn on it. The year's not over yet, so I'm not gonna say much more than that about it. But there's also some beans back here because the river did get up in it a little bit after we had planted it. And yeah, so we're gonna spray it, knock some of these weeds out of it, and then get on our way. So we're up here spraying now. We got that field down there done. We got another field to do, and we're spraying the enlist stuff. All the crops up here look really, really good, and we're hoping for a pretty good year out of them. The one thing that I did bring up a couple videos ago, and I never did touch on again, the Veltima stuff and the Trivapro. So we thought we was having some issues with some Trivapro, but they said that that was the protection that it was providing, which is good. It's still good. And then the Veltima is the same way. We thought that we had a major issue up there with the gray leaf spot all the way up the plant, and it turns out that whenever I was looking at it, it was in a bad spot of the field. We didn't have any phone service, so I couldn't check my maps to see really what was going on. We did end up finding out that there was nothing wrong with it. The field looks really well and it's still holding up to disease really well. You can still see some of the bottom leaves, which is normal. There's nothing wrong with that. You're just worried about that ear leaf and up. You want to make sure that you got that ear leaf and up protected. So that's the only thing we can hope for. But we are out here spraying again. We're chugging right along, trying to get some stuff done, and then Probably go home here in about another hour, hour and a half. I got another field here to do. It's about 80 acres. I just filled up my sprayer, topped it off, and we're gonna see what happens. So we are also running fungicide now. We're running this top. Okay, that wasn't all that rough. Gonna take this turn nice and like that, hanging out over the ditch a little bit. Don't hit the bridge. There's some Johnson grass out there. We're gonna try and hit on that ditch. All along through there's a post. That post is more for checking soil fertility. I think it's a pro. But we're going to try and knock all this Johnson grass out that's on the ditch bank, because I am tired of driving through it and I can't see whenever I'm driving down this lane. Try and get that there too. So this has been bean on bean for the past couple of years right here. We haven't really been able to plant in corn, so volunteer corn is not really out here. That was not an issue in this field, so I am not spraying any volunteer corn chemical, but we are running fungicide. We're running the Mirvis top. I did find some frog-eyed leaf spot up here yesterday whenever I was crop scouting, so we are taking appropriate measures to make sure that the disease does not progress too much more, and to keep our beans in a good state. And we are now setting a B line, because I have not set one on this field for an angle, because I have not been able to come up here and spray second pass, but I also have not had to until now. Turn my air conditioner off. But we did also get something new. You guys will see that whenever I get back to the farm. You might like it. I like it. I'm glad we got something new. I'll show you guys whenever I get back. I promise. I'll show you. But we did end up getting 2 new things, and I am excited. I haven't really gotten to look at them yet. They do have some new features on them, and I am very excited. So I'll show you guys whenever I get back. You can guess in the comments on what you think it is. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think that horse weight is supposed to be that tall. Let's see if the Enlist kills it, I guess. It'll be a good test for it. Because I know that dicamba will, but I do not know if Enlist will. They'll come out here next week and walk around this field a little bit, and we'll see. That spot right there is basically a wet hole in this field. We had to log all this out right here with this irrigation that we got out here. And whenever we had logged it all out, we buried the trees right there. We haven't been able to farm over it since, and that was 6 years ago, 7 years ago. I barely remember it, so. But yeah, there's a bunch of trees that are buried right there. If we can ever get a crop to grow on it, that'd be great, but I do not know that it will happen. I really do not know that it'll happen. Yeah, I love this field over here. I remember whenever I was younger, one time my uncle came up here, and me and my uncle went out here with the Ranger. We had a white Ranger at the time. We was mapping the field for the irrigation, so then we knew how big of an irrigation we could put in and stuff like that. I do remember that, but sadly that was years ago. Gotta make sure that we get through all this so we can hit our straightaway. And then we gotta go back over and make sure that irrigation is shut off and off the bridge. So we're gonna check and make sure that this thing's off. Oh. Yes, it is stopped. It hit the stopping slot, and it is now going to sit until it gets dry again, because we gotta push the corn to black layer. So once it starts to dry out a little bit more, it is still really wet up here. Once the corn pushes the black layer, then we will, or once it dries out, we'll try and push the corn to black layer. Once it gets to black layer, you kind of just let it dry out, because you've done all the grain fill and all that stuff that you can. there's not much else that you can do after that. So I'm gonna come up here though, because I want to walk across this bridge. It's been a while since I've done it. It's scary, but it's fun. Oh. And there's the view of the day. Pretty good way to end out a Thursday. It's a long fall. You can see where the irrigation comes up here. That's cool. This is the shorter one out of them. Yeah. I think this is the shorter one out of them. The other ones are longer. So these have a concrete block in the bottom of them down there towards the ditch bank. The concrete block's what kind of holds it in place and keeps it from moving a whole lot. And that's what it's like all the way across here. All of these are. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 spans this irrigation, I think. 1, 2. Yeah, there's 6 spans this irrigation. That means that there's 12 bridges, because this irrigation makes a full circle all the way around. Whenever we built it, we did think about only making it cross in one spot, because these here are shorter than them over there, because that ditch takes a corner. There's one of these that's 80 feet that goes all the way across the ditch on the corner, and these are only 60. So, but yeah, pretty nice view for the day. We have made it back off the bridge safely. Go back to the sprayer now, so I can go home, and then I can explain to you guys what we got at home. Ooh, look at this snake skin. Look at that. That is a big snake. I'll leave it up here. So I'm sure that you guys are still currently wondering what we could be getting that's new. I bet you're also wondering why I'm in the truck shed if we got 2 new things. Wilson pace setters. This is the automatic tarp. We did get 2 of these guys. There's 2 of them. There's one there. There's one over here. This was a new addition to our truck fleet. We have the semis, we just don't have the trucks, if that makes any sense, or the trailers. So we went ahead and we did end up getting 2 new trailers. Last year we had one getting a pretty bad accident, and it was not usable anymore, so we ended up getting 2 new ones. If you guys was around, then you seen, if you guys was paying attention, you guys probably seen it. It was on Facebook, the accident and everything like that. It was just not a good deal. I really can't say a whole too terribly lot about it right now, mainly because of insurance and all kinds of other things that's still going on. But yes, we did end up going and getting 2 new trailers. Oh, cool. This one does work. We are a month out from harvest. Oh, it goes by itself. Oh, that's cool. So what if okay, so now we'll see if it stops on its own. So I am very excited though. I'm excited for these things to hit the fields and get going. We do have some trucks there in the shop that are broke down right now. They'll be out of the shop here shortly, and then we'll get everything all hooked up. We still do have 2 more hopper bottoms sitting right here. Dump trailer sitting over there. That was another issue that we had There's another hop bottom there, and then there's 2 more over there. So altogether we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we now have 7. That ain't right. There must be another one out somewhere. There has to be, because I thought we have 8 now. But yeah. So that one of them is a replacement and one of them is a new addition. The only thing that I really do not like that I can see so far from looking at them, I love the trailer though. It's so clean, it's so nice. It's got a different hookup on it than what our Tempties do. We've always had Tempties. We only had one Wilson, or we had 2 Wilson trailers before. We sold one whenever we bought the Super Hopper, I do believe. Whenever we bought this Super Hopper, we had sold one on the side of the highway, and then we had that other one getting an accident, and then we had this one had bought 2 years ago. That one was a new addition as well. That's the one that we usually pull behind the red automatic because it just looks good together. And then now we have, we added another one, so now we have 8, or we should have 8, something like that. Yeah, but the dump trailer is another incident, story for another time. So yeah, shiny new trailers, 2 of them ready for harvest. Harvest starts in another couple weeks. We're getting pretty close. We're getting closer. I'm so excited. I just want to see the combine going across the field. And yes, we did pull them out of the shed because we had to work on them, and we're still working on them. So before everybody jumps on me for them being outside. And I now remember where the other one is. The 8th one that we're missing that's not here at the farm is in at Miller Welding because the hopper had busted on it. So we're working on fixing that. That's why it's not here. Red automatic is getting worked on. It had to have a new oil pan put in it. The oil pan had a crack in it. They're supposed to be getting the new oil pan tomorrow, I think. So I won't be around tomorrow. Yeah, it had a crack in it somewhere down here. So I just went ahead and replaced it before harvest because we don't have the time to mess with it during harvest. If it cracks the rest of the way, probably greasing the hitch. So it looks like something with brake fluid, which I don't really know. But yeah, working on the brakes, working on some other things too. They did end up putting new brakes on it. I guess they fixed the fender, or not really fixed it, but got it close to being fixed. So I do not like these Volvo engines. Very low power. Very low power. But so, oh, we did end up getting the lift mounted in here too. I don't know if I ever told you guys that or not, but we did end up getting the lift mounted. We bought the lift on an auction, and we just got it mounted the other day. And here, I'll go ahead and I'll. Works good, see? Better put it back down in the lock. So we got this to work on our stuff because we do a lot of our own maintenance around here. We don't hire people to do much maintenance on our stuff besides like the hopper bottom, because it was aluminum. We had to have somebody else fix it. So yeah. And the Red Mac is next on the list to get worked on because it's got alternator issues. They're gonna pull it at the shop. But if you guys think that's all the surprises, we got more surprises too, but they're coming. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Please remember to follow the farm Instagram, Facebook page, like and subscribe to this video, and yeah, I guess we'll see you guys in the next video.